Alright, all you graveyard shift racers out there, welcome back to Under the Radar. And this week's Stunts of the Week comes from none other than Vinewood on fire with her stunt precision, and also comes from none other than Hakachu Stunt Kill with his said stunt Project 19. And the reason why we picked these two stunts? Well, the first one features Vinewood on fire doing a move from Freak Style called the Kickboxer, all while grinding on the top of a billboard on her tailpipe of her Hakachu, which is absolutely insane. And speaking of insanity, folks, anybody who's crazy enough to do a 50-50 rail grind over a train overpass, all while looking at the city street below and have a risk of getting hit by a train at the same time, definitely foots the bill for insanity and deserves to be the stunt of the week as well. But besides your insane, crazy stunts, folks, I think it's time for us to get ready to rev our engines and see who was the best of the best tracks of this vacation for this year, as we go into a very special Memorial Day edition of the GTA Online Top 5 Tracks of the Month. And the first track that we have up comes from Genopa with his said track, G Chumash Speedway. And the reason why in the world we decided to pick this crazy tube toboggan-like track is not only because of the cars that we got during the Litany List lineup for it, but also because of the fact that at a moment's notice, like a Hot Wheels track, your car can get bumped out, fly into the air like a UFO, and you could be literally knocked out of this race once and for all. And the only tip of advice we have for you fans out there for this said track, and the same thing that none other than Genopo suggested to you as well, make sure you pick off-road tires for this said track. And especially be careful of opponents knocking you off if you decide to take the outer lane of this said track. Because if they knock you out, you'll be knocked out of this race. But if they miss, it'll be a better chance for you to win. So think smart and be victorious. You know, Rogue Squadron line for anybody who didn't get it. But besides Rogue Squadron, folks, and Rebel Strike that comes along with it, the next track that we have up that was the best of the best for this month comes from the creator Skull God's Face with their said track, Skull Coliseum. Now, this track made it in for the track of the month because this Circus Maximus roller coaster-like track that features a giant wind funnel in the center that you can easily get lost in, along with some loop-de-loops along the way to really make it exciting, was a very awesome track that we had a chance to play for this month. And the only tip of advice we have for you fans inside that spin cycle is to pay attention to where the checkpoints lead you. Because if you don't, let's just say you will get lost in the spin cycle, which will cost you this very race. So definitely watch out when you're in there. With a lot of racers, you can get lost or get hit. It depends on how confused you get during this track and if anybody's in your way. So yeah, definitely be careful. And the next track that we have up comes from the creator ConvoyGamer.GTA5 with their said track, CG Aqua Park Stunt. And the reason why this track made it in for this week, not only because it gives you a chance for sports classic muscles, off-road sports, and even supercars to use during this crazy track that involves you going in not only sidewinders, corkscrews, and wall rides, also sees you getting your limits tested with a couple of boosted loop-de-loops along the way as well. And the only tip of advice we have for you fans out there is to watch out for traffic during this said race, because it involves you going back the same way you came, and if you're not paying attention while cars are wall riding, let's just say you will get hit out of the air and fall directly into the drink, since this track is suspended above the Pacific Ocean. So yeah, be careful. And according to the maestro, it's actually over the Alamo Sea, but either way, you're falling into the drink, so be careful. And speaking of getting a chance to fall into the Pacific Ocean, like I thought I said before, for one of these tracks that made it in for this month, comes from the creator Buxacapolos 1 with their said track, Summer Colors 2. And this track made it in for this month not only because of all the beautiful colors you get a chance to see during this track, but also the crazy stunts involved with the colors during the said track. And not to mention a chance to not only do a couple of tubular stunts in a tube, some loop-de-loops filled with more colors than a Coldplay music video, but also sees you in a head-to-head race with somebody through a big oversized tunnel as well. So the only tip of advice I have for you fans out there in this updated race that was updated just before this month came to an end is to make sure you pick a car with great handling during this track and stay centered on those loop-de-loops. And also make sure you're on the bottom part of the tunnel or the tubes when you're going through, because if you don't and you're going sideways, you're gonna have to quickly adjust yourself in the air, and if you don't, let's just say you'll explode upon impact, because it happened to me and it did cost me the race. So yeah, watch where you land, the ultimate lesson to learn for this day. And the last but not least track to make it in for this elite list month of tracks comes from the creator RB Driftin' with their said track Painbow Road. Now, the reason why in the world this track made it in for this month, folks, not only because it gives you a chance to use every car across the board, with the exception of the gun runners or any vehicles that have weapons on it, but it also gives you a chance to feel a reimagining version of the classic Rainbow Road track for the Super Nintendo. And I, for one, who had a chance to race on that road, wishes that it had a center jump in it to avoid conflict through those two tubes like this race does. And the only tip of advice I have for you fans out there is, yeah, if you're crazy enough, go for that center ramp and try to go for the goal. But if you're not, try to fight against your opponents to see who can get in that tube first, and if they knock you up into the upper part of the tubes and you go flying, hopefully you land on your wheels like a glove. It's the only tip of advice for you. And also watch out for edges and missing parts of the track, because it will slip you up during this race and cost you. Especially with motorcycles, because you can get knocked off. And I guess with that said, for this month, folks, wraps it up for another edition of the GTA Online Top 5 Tracks of the Month. And I guess with that said, we might as well head back into that music one more time. And when we return, we'll be back with the final segment for Under the Radar for this week, right after this. So don't get lost in the madness just yet, folks, and stay tuned.